The White Snake's Vengeance. Right at the beginning of the drama, a beautiful girl is shown taking a bath. The crown prince happened to be passing by the same path where the girl was bathing. Seeing such a stunning girl, the crown prince steps toward her. Just then, the girl puts on her clothes, comes in front of the crown prince, and begins to seduce him. At that moment, through a flashback, the girl's identity is revealed. When she was little, she used to wander the streets. One day, a girl her age comes up to her and asks her name. In response, the girl says her name is Ling. Then that girl says, "From now on, you are my sister." After that, Ling starts growing up with that girl and her family. Ling was actually a white snake. One day when Ling's sister goes to the market to buy food for Ling, the crown prince and crown princess happen to be passing by that same path. While everyone else bows their heads in respect upon seeing them, Ling's sister fails to notice them. By the time she notices them, both of them had grown furious and ordered their guards to beat her. Ling's sister begs for forgiveness repeatedly, but it is of no use. By then, Ling's parents also arrive at the scene and beg for mercy as well, but the crown prince and crown princess order the guards to kill them too. When Ling comes to them in her snake form, her sister shields her with her own body so that no harm comes to her. Meanwhile, the guards beat them to death. By the time Ling transforms into a human and reaches them, they are already dead. In the present, while lost in these thoughts, Ling grows intimate with the crown prince and thinks to herself, "I will definitely take revenge on you both for murdering my family." Just then, the crown princess arrives there and gets furious with the crown prince. The crown prince immediately steps away from Ling and says, "This girl was seducing me." The crown princess orders Ling to be sent to the king instead of punishing her herself. However, Ling feels happy about this because her true target is not the crown prince but the king. When Ling is presented to the king shows no interest in her and tells her to leave as he was very ill. But Ling seduces the king on her own initiative and becomes intimate with him. The scene shifts to the next morning. A maid shows the king Ling's bloodstain, which indicates that Ling was a virgin. After the maid leaves, the king notices that he feels much healthier now. Just then, Ling wakes up and asks him, "Do you want to become a father?" The king replies, "I can never become a father again." Ling says, "How can you say that without even trying?" Hearing Ling's words and under her seduction, the king becomes intimate with Ling once again. The crown prince and crown princess are shown sitting on the king's throne, thinking that this place will belong to them in a few days. The king's mother, the grandmother, is shown feeling very worried about the king's health. In the next scene, a maid accidentally bumps into the crown princess. This makes the crown princess extremely angry, and she orders the guards to beat her. The maid apologizes and says that the grandmother sent her to teach the crown princess palace etiquette. Hearing this, the crown princess gets even angrier and begins beating the maid herself. When the grandmother sees this, she tells her to stop. However, the crown prince says that his wife doesn't need to learn etiquette from anyone. It becomes clear that the grandmother has no value or authority here. So they go to the king. However, the king was unconscious at that moment. It seemed as if he was dead. Ling had lit a specific incense stick there. Once that incense burns out, the king will regain consciousness and become as strong as a young man. When Ling informs everyone that the king will regain consciousness shortly, the crown princess turns on Ling and starts calling her the king's killer instead. Ling then reveals that she is pregnant. Hearing this, the grandmother becomes overjoyed, but the crown prince and crown princess refuse to accept it. So the imperial physician is called. He examines the king and declares that the king is dead. Hearing this, the crown prince becomes extremely happy because he is now the king. So he orders them to quickly arrange the king's funeral. Even while the king is being placed inside the coffin, Ling keeps saying that the king is not dead. Annoyed by this, the crown princess orders her guards to stuff Ling into the coffin with the king as well. As per her orders, Ling's hands are tied, she is put inside the coffin with the king, and the lid is sealed tight. But right then, the coffin door violently bursts open and the king sits up. Seeing the king alive, everyone present greets him. The king also feels as though he possesses the strength of a 20-year-old youth. At this time, Ling tells the king about their child and how the crown prince and crown princess had sealed her alive inside the coffin. Hearing this, the king flies into a rage at the crown prince, strikes him from a distance, and strips him of his title. In the next scene, the physician examines Ling and announces that she is 1 month pregnant. Hearing this, the crown princess and crown prince whisper among themselves that the child must not belong to the king. But before they can say anything, the king suddenly faints due to illness. Seeing this, the grandmother becomes deeply worried. Ling says, "Do not worry, he will regain consciousness in a short while." However, the crown prince immediately takes Ling into custody. Suddenly, Ling starts bleeding, making everyone think she might have had a miscarriage. But the physician examines her and reveals that her baby is perfectly fine. Hearing this, they start arguing. What difference does it make if the baby is alive or dead? This child isn't the king's anyway. Ling has been with the king for only 1 week, but this baby is 1 month old. Saying this, they order Ling's execution. Ling insists that the king knows it is his child and that he will confirm everything once he wakes up. But no one listens to her, and just as they are about to execute Ling, the king regains consciousness and saves her. The king personally carries Ling in his arms and seats her on his throne. The grandmother asks him how he feels now. The king replies that he feels healthier and stronger than even the crown prince. Right then, Ling experiences bleeding again. The physician arrives and informs them that there is a risk of Ling having a miscarriage. Hearing this, the king gets so furious that he kicks both the crown prince and crown princess. The crown prince then says, "This girl has been with you for 1 week, yet she is 1 month pregnant. Do you really think this child is yours?" Then the king recalls the maid showing him Ling's virgin blood, so he says, "This child is mine, because she had never been with any other man before me." When the crown prince still doesn't stop, Ling says, "My baby is growing very rapidly. Such pregnancies are rare, and the baby might be born much earlier than normal." Hearing this, everyone there gets very happy, as they will soon get to see the successor to the kingdom. In the next scene, all the servants bring Ling valuable gifts. Since she is about to give birth to the realm's heir, everyone is taking extraordinary care of her. Once everyone leaves, Ling pulls out a small white snake from inside her clothes and instructs it to keep an eye on the crown prince and crown princess. Meanwhile, the crown prince and crown princess are planning a scheme to humiliate Ling, which the small white snake overhears. The next day's scene is shown, where Ling is officially proclaimed as the queen today. To mark this happy occasion, the crown princess offers Ling a hairpin as a gift. However, Ling hesitates to accept the hairpin, so the grandmother accepts it on Ling's behalf. However, this doesn't matter much to the crown prince and crown princess, because anticipating this, they had set their real trap with the flowers present there. As a result, Ling suddenly suffers severe stomach pain and begins bleeding profusely. Seeing so much blood, everyone assumes she has had a miscarriage. Therefore, the ministers say, "We need a crown prince right now. Please appoint a crown prince immediately." Ling begs the king not to give the crown prince his position back before fainting. However, succumbing to everyone's pressure, the king restores the crown prince to his post. As soon as the crown prince regains power, he says, "To make me the crown prince, this girl must first be removed from here." But right at that moment, Ling wakes up and asks, "Who said I had a miscarriage?" The king asks happily, "Is it true? Is my baby still alive?" When Ling confirms it, the crown prince says, "How can a baby stay alive after so much blood loss?" To prove it, Ling has the physician examine her. The physician checks her and says that the baby appears to be even stronger than before. Then the crown prince claims, "This girl must have bribed the physician with money." So he summons several other physicians himself to examine Ling. However, every single physician confirms that Ling's baby is healthy. Ling then uses her magic powers to make the crown prince confess out of his own mouth. I personally mixed poison in those flowers. How can a baby survive such powerful poison? When the crown princess tries to stop him, the crown prince slaps her instead and says, "You were right there with me." The grandmother says, "They attempted to murder the heir of our kingdom. They must receive severe punishment immediately." Seeing the situation turn dire, the crown princess slaps the crown prince back and says, "I was not involved in any of this. Whatever was done, the crown prince did it on his own without telling me." By then, the crown prince had regained his senses, and realizing that he had just confessed to his crime, he tries to deny it. However, the king summons someone and orders them to test the flowers. Upon testing, poison is found in them. Seeing this, the king becomes furious and orders severe punishment for both the crown prince and crown princess. The next scene shows the crown prince and crown princess being punished. Ling arrives there to punish them with her own hands. While whipping them, Ling asks, "Do you remember the Su family? The innocent family you killed in front of everyone at the market?" At that moment, the crown prince and crown princess recall them. Somehow breaking free, the crown prince rushes to attack Ling, but the king arrives just in time and saves her. Ling then acts fragile, making it look as though the crown prince was entirely at fault. Angered, the king increases the severity of their punishment. They are dressed in servants' clothes and sent to do filthy manual labor. Overwhelmed by the stench of dirty water, both of them end up vomiting. However, back when they were in power, they had treated the servants so horribly that now, seizing the opportunity, the servants throw them into the filthy water to take their revenge. In the next scene, while the crown prince and crown princess are in their quarters, a guard arrives and informs them that the general has returned. Hearing this, the crown prince says happily, "So my father has finally returned." Right after, both of them appear in the royal court. Seeing the general there, when the crown prince calls him father, the general scolds him and says, "I am not your father. From the day the king adopted you, he became your father." But the king states, "Your son has committed such terrible deeds that I no longer consider him my son." After stepping outside, the general remarks, "The king is dreaming about a child that doesn't even exist yet. But if that child never sees the light of day, you will surely be made crown prince again." The next scene shows a maid bringing medicine to Ling, saying that the grandmother sent it for her. However, through a flashback, we see that it was actually sent by the general, laced with poison. Ling senses this and orders the maid to drink the medicine herself. When the maid hesitates, Ling forces her to drink it with the help of other maids. Shortly after, the maid collapses and dies right there. Again during the night, two assassins enter Ling's room to kill her, but Ling defeats them as well. Having failed on all fronts, when the frustrated crown prince comes to the general recalls a flashback. When he had sent a spy to search Ling's room, the spy had found a snakeskin there. The crown princess also remembers that during the massacre of the Su family, the daughter had shielded a snake. They realize that Ling is actually that snake demon. The general then says, "Now we don't have to do anything. Everything will be exposed at the time of her delivery." The next scene depicts Ling's labor. The midwife at one point suspects that there might be an egg inside Ling's womb, but the next moment, she perceives it as a baby again. Meanwhile, everyone outside waits anxiously. Inside, Ling thinks to herself, "I can never give birth to my child here in front of so many people." So she intentionally makes everyone inside fall unconscious. When the sounds from inside suddenly stop, everyone outside gets worried. Just as they are about to burst in, they spot the shadow of a giant snake inside. The general instigates the king, saying, "A large snake must have broken in. We must enter immediately so that no harm comes to the consort." Saying this, when they rush inside, they find all the maids unconscious and Ling's delivery incomplete. When everyone asks Ling about the snake, Ling says, "I didn't see any snake here." The general says, "We all saw the shadow of a snake from outside. Since there is no snake here, it means you must be a snake demon." Ling then pulls out her tiny pet snake and says, "This is my pet snake. You must have seen its shadow." The general argues, "That shadow was huge, and this snake is tiny." Ling then holds the snake near a candle, casting a massive reflection on the wall. The ministers consider Ling innocent. Just then, the midwife regains consciousness and is asked how she fainted. Hypnotized by Ling, the midwife states that she passed out due to a severe headache. Before anyone else can say a word, the king orders everyone to leave and commands the delivery to be completed. The next scene shows that Ling has given birth to 3 boys. Everyone is overjoyed with them. The grandmother even starts deciding what gifts to give to her grandchildren. In the following scene, instead of those 3 babies, 3 eggs are shown in front of Ling. Right then, the general releases sleeping gas into the room from outside, making Ling unconscious. When the 3 of them step inside and find the eggs in front of Ling, the general recalls the midwife coming to him in private and revealing that Ling had given birth to eggs, not babies. They then take the 3 eggs and leave. However, as soon as they leave, Ling sits up, meaning all of this was happening according to her plan. In the next scene, the king declares his eldest son as the crown prince. The general then says, "The one being declared crown prince should be brought here." Ling says, "He is still a baby. Bringing him amidst such noise is not right." The general then reveals to everyone, they are not babies but still eggs. To prove his point, Ling has her maids bring the babies out. However, the general doesn't stop there. He summons his own soldiers and launches an attack on the king himself. But Ling had already anticipated all of this. As soon as she gives the command, the general's soldiers turn their swords on him instead. Since all 3 of them attacked the king and committed treason, they are imprisoned in jail. Ling comes to the jail to speak with them and cleverly instigates a fight between the crown prince and crown princess. The next day's scene shows the execution of all 3 of them today. At the designated time, all 3 are executed. With their deaths, Ling imagines her mother, father, and sister looking very happy, bidding her a smiling farewell. With Ling's revenge complete, the story comes to an end.